So you'll hear a lot of flat earthers say a lot of different things at this point. I'm not sure how many of those people are genuine, how many of them aren't. I'd like to think most of them are. But at a minimum, I think anybody that's claiming to be a flat earther would definitely agree that Earth is flat, is best described as flat in any scientific notion whatsoever, and definitely motionless. That none of these are very scientifically difficult problems to solve. It's pretty easy to take a telescope and a GPS to your local huge body of water, whether it's a lake or an ocean. It's in fact totally flat, that it's always rising up to your eye level just like you'd expect over an extended flat plane, and nothing like you'd expect if you were actually on top of a convex ball. Gravity is this real force, and that's why I'm stuck to the ground right now. And what I'm saying is keeping that house on the ground is the fact that it's more dense than the medium that it's contained within, which is the air. Okay, so yeah, I put this on the wall I think about 3 years ago or so, and it ruffled some feathers with somebody at the city, so they ultimately took me to court and wrote me like 4 or 5 different citations for failure to file a building permit in order to use a chalk marker on the front of my house. And so, trying to be a dutiful American, I couldn't plea that one out, and I took it to trial, represented myself, did a horrible job, but the entire time was screaming that, hey, this is a case of obvious free speech. NASA showed up back in the 50s trying to show you pictures from a fake moon landing that allegedly proved that there was a ball-shaped Earth back there behind the moon called Earthrise, right? It was a totally fake picture. I was skeptical yet that the moon landings had happened. Of course, I had heard people didn't believe them, and I just thought they were crazy and all this. And I don't know, a couple of days into trying to find some additional footage on the moon landings, and came across a title that said Flat Earth Conspiracy Documentary by this guy Eric Dubay, and I was like, well, this has got to be great for a laugh. Let's check this out. And it was about 2 minutes into this guy's documentary, I realized, like, oh man, he's not kidding. So spent part of, you could say, my sophomore year up at West Point doing basic training and doing the whole West Point experience, and decided I had had enough of that. And then from there I decided I'd finish up school at TCU. So it was a 4.5-year adventure. Yeah, just for the record, Buzz Aldrin, the second man on the moon, was a West Point graduate. So just same school I went to. Little food for thought. Yeah, so I ended up in Denton because it always felt like kind of a home away from home. It was always like a place to go relax and meet fun people and enjoy my. Never sold anything I put in the front yard. It's always just been for my own enjoyment.
What kind of experiments do you do for your telescope?
Well, this is now more there for show. Stick on letters, you can't really make them out anymore, but it says curvature killer, and I thought that was kind of amusing, but then decided it was a little too ridiculous. And yeah, so here we are still now with it in the back of the truck, kind of looking like a 50 cal, but I chalked that up to like artistic impression. See, I don't know if that was friendly or not. I hope so.
So since I moved here to Denton a year ago, I've seen your car driving around. It's always made me smile. I really like it. Can you talk about kind of the reception you get?
Yeah, it's great to hear that it's making you smile. That seems to be the general reception I get out of most people. But definitely it does draw a fair amount of negative attention on a pretty regular basis, but it definitely it seems to me that it's letting up. So I'm getting waved at, I'd say 3 times as much as I'm getting flipped off now. So it's serious progress in the business of promoting the flat Earth.